So this week we're going to reball a PS5 SSD controller. So I've got a repair coming up on my other channel. So this is an SSD that I took off a donor board. So first off we're going to apply a little bit of flux and then we're going to apply some fresh solder. So this is to help to remove all the old solder. So you just gently go over it, running across all of the old pads, applying as much solder as needed. So just take your time, you don't want to be pulling anything off here. Make sure every solder pad gets touched by the new solder. Once we've done that, we'll apply a little bit more flux and then we'll get some decent solder wick. A large tip on the end of the hot iron, which I've set at 380C, and then just very carefully roll it along and take off all the old solder. So again, take your time, you don't want to be pulling it, you don't want to be pulling any pads off, and then just keep moving it around, making sure you're getting fresh solder wick when required. Once you're done, we just give it a quick clean of isopropyl, making sure we get off all the old flux, and there you can see and you can feel that it's all nice and smooth, so it's ready to be reballed. So I'm just going to place it on my jig that I've got here, and then we'll line up the template. So we'll just have to move it into place to make sure that you can see all the solder balls behind. And then I've got some solder paste, so again, push it in, try and dry it out as much as you can beforehand, and then push it along. You want to get it in all the angles, in all the corners. You don't have to be having to redo it over and over. So just keep pushing it down, spreading it out, and then once you're happy near the end, remove all the excess. And I was going to hold it down boot tweezers, but I'd realised I didn't have to. So I've got my hot air set at 40% at 360C, and I'm just moving it round, and then you just keep applying, keep moving it, and then it's going to start finally turning to solder balls. So just keep moving it around until the solder starts to melt, and as you can see, it starts looking quite mesmerising as the squares start turning into solder balls. So just go around each section, keep going, keep moving, and it'll all eventually turn. Get that little stubborn bit in the middle so they finally all turn. And then what you want to do, you just want to leave it for a couple of seconds so you see all the solder balls solidifying. And then once they've all gone solid, that's when you want to remove the template, because if you leave it too long it gets stuck and can be hard to remove. So just gently lift up the template and it easily lifts away. And as we can see, we've got a nicely new soldered SSD controller. So once it's all solidified again, we'll apply a little bit more flux. And then we'll come over the hot air station again, just to give it another once over. This will sharpen up and smarten all the balls. So if there's anything not quite circular, it will make them all nice now. You don't want to, again, leave it on for too long because you don't want to be damaging the chip. Once you're happy everything's been done as expected, just leave it to cool down. Once it's cool, get your isopropyl and then give it a good clean front and back to get rid of all the old flux. And then as we can see under the microscope, it's all perfectly soldered. All the balls are the perfect same size, and then the chip's ready to be placed onto a new PS5. Thanks very much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe.